Alright. Hey everyone, this will be a commentary of the 4th of July sparring. Good old Chris recorded for us. So here I've got, let's see if I can make this full screen, there we go. So here we got sparring footage of me and Darius. I started off with an overhook. I needed Darius to have his feet really far back. So the only reason that this works, you see right here, Darius has his feet really far forward and my foot's really far back. So there's no way I'm going to be able to throw him forward when he's very forward. I need his feet to be back here so I can throw him forward. So watch, he tries coming in front again, and then right there is where I hit that. So boom, I catch him where he's not standing on this foot, so I walk forward, so now my feet would be in this line in front of him, so I'm good to trip. Hit this trip, come over top for the originally I was going to come over for the top for an armbar. Now I'm doing a sneaky Japanese necktie. It's basically a baseball choke with the arm in. And then I should have transitioned to a Darius there, but I got greedy and came back in for it for the video. Here we're just scrambling, slowly getting up. Fall into this Kimura trap position, trying to throw the leg over the top. It's very slow. Like Darius is super good at blocking that leg because I do it to him so often. So right here I'm going to do something kind of cool. So what I do here, which you can't see initially, is I made a perfect grip on his hand where my index finger meets the base of his pinky finger. Alright, so let's back this up a sec. And you can't see it, but I make that transition right now because I know this Kimura grip is failing because he won't let me throw my leg over the top. So I make that grip so that my arm, I can drag his arm out wide instead of having his arm block my leg coming over. I dragged his arm out and then I used both my legs and I forced the crucifix position here. Start looking slowly for the choke, but he's already so far over and I'm just getting warmed up, so I just decided to come to mount here. Kind of thinking about grabbing a triangle because I kept that arm. Darius already got the other arm real low, so try to jump on a guillotine. It's a bad thing because now look where we're at. I lost the position just because I went for dumb submissions rather than settling. Trying to do some shin pin stuff. Darius comes up for a single, so I turn into this very cross-arm crucifix style position. It's very hard to get rid of that grip when someone that's like me that's real long like that. He has to bring this arm out and around and over his head to free that, but now I've got two hands on it. I think I'm just trying to free my foot now that he's got trapped. Let me stand again. It's very slow stand-up, very flowing today. Nothing super explosive, like explosive wrestling or anything. Tried to grab his foot off a little foot lift. Now we're both trying to get our hips in front to see who can throw the other person. And as we keep fighting in front, I bail on that so he can't throw me, and I start trying to look for a body lock from the back. He turns into me, but I still get the body lock here. Body locks are so powerful. I can do whatever I want. As long as I pull his hips into mine, which now I have, I can knee tap, I can do trips onto this leg, I can just like go head first into his chest. There's anything here. I think I'm going to end up tapping his knee out there. Started looking for a knee cut over the top, and then I just started floating. Settle into half guard. Push on the knee to knee on belly, knowing I'm going to knee cut over, I'm not going to mount. This is something I'm probably going to say like 4 or 5 times on the knee cut. So right here, I freed my knee line, and here I need an underhook on this side to go to the right. So if I'm going to knee cut to the right, I need an underhook on this with my left hand, okay? And then this is the other cool detail. So right there, Darius gives up the underhook, and I'm hooking his thigh right here, my knee's on the mat, and you're not going to be able to see it very well on this one. But I'm going to take my knee, not my whole leg, but just my knee. I'm going to pull my heel to my butt, and I'm going to drag just my knee down, and it's going to turn his hips away from me just a little bit. So right there, I put my knee on the mat. See how my knee's down? And I start doing it. So I do it a lot more later in the video, but it's a very important concept. Knee on belly, thinking about doing an arm crush. But again, I'm not trying to rip submissions today. Just trying to control things. Slowly turning on this this submission position. So what happens right here? So I have this underhook. I was going to turn for the pivot for the armbar, but I felt that he was clamping so tight, I didn't really want the armbar. He was actually clamping so tight, I go to my own bicep here for a reverse Kimura position. So a regular Kimura is you grab the wrist, and then you reach over the tricep and grab your own wrist. This is, you get an underhook, and then you grab your bicep, and then this hand of mine that looks like an alien hand is going to go down and grab his wrist, and it's going to be a reverse. I'm still going to finish it like a Kimura, right? So I'm here, I grab his wrist, right? I throw both legs over the top, and then I just turn my shoulders over, and he tapped real early because he's a big dude, not super flexible, with great shorts. So we're standing again. Darius gets in on his body like I do it. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is perfect that I went for this really stupid takedown right here. So Darius gets in on a body lock, and then see how his feet get real under me here. He's under me. Yeah, I might have threatened this stupid thing, and if I would have done a forward roll, he probably would have gone over. But what I needed to do was have my foot standing way up here and kick across this way, rather than being here and kicking across. This is why. So now he's like super far behind me and under me, so I have nothing. So he just drops and I fall. But this is, I keep harping on this with everyone. When you pass, just like I did earlier on Darius for my knee cut, if you're going to pass to one side, you need to control the far side. When they have an underhook on bottom, they can just bridge up. So I just connected my hands in a little chain grip right here and just bridged. And then I got to half guard. Now I'm low. Now I'm rolling under and I'm bucking up. And I got him that little half guard pass. Resetting. I think I do a little standing pummeling here to pass Darius this time. Yeah, that's all it is. It seems really stupid. So all it is I'm just holding his feet momentarily until my foot is free over here, and then I step out and around his guard. So right there, he lost track of what happened, and I threw his leg down and I pummeled in. And then knowing he's going to start getting up, I get ready to step around for this armbar. Yep, and then I could have just fallen back for this armbar, but I decided to let him flow up. I threw my leg over the top again, and now we've got a regular Kimura finish. To look at defeat with the head nod. Got 50 seconds on the clock. Got my overhook again. Go for a... Yeah, see, so that's... this is a good combo right here, man. I do this all the time. I did this the first time, and I'm doing this again. So he goes for the underhook. Immediately, I grab my overhook, right, my whizzer. I have his wrist. All right, so what I do is I go for this far side trip, and it makes him pull this leg back. Because if he doesn't pull it back, he's just going to fall onto his knees. So as he pulls the leg back, I walk forward, and I tip his shin right here. Boom, there's the tip. See how I got him to plant his hand on the mat? Easy entrance to getting a chin strap or a headlock position. So now he's down and I've got a headlock. A lot of finishes for this. Darius decides to pull guard. Smart. I was going to do a little ankle pick there. Oh, this is another very cool thing that I do. When I'm in half guard with a knee shield, so Darius has his knee shield, when I'm in half guard with a knee shield and I just don't feel like playing against knee shields, I do this thing where I lean my upper body forward, right? So right there, see how I lean my upper body forward? And then my outside foot, right? My left leg is in the half guard. My outside leg is free, and as I lean forward, it exposes his half guard leg. And then I put a butterfly hook in, and then I just pull, I windshield wipe it out. And now all that's in front of me is a knee shield. Now I can choose whatever pass I want. Leg drags. I decided to stuff it and started turning around in the corner. I did an attempted back take there because I had his trap. Right, so you see how I have his trap back here. My plan was to jump around and get my hips under his hips before he turned, and didn't get my hips under in time. He turned into me, and I connected my hands coming up on this triangle position. I could have pulled on his head and squeezed on it, right, for the finish, but I'm looking for this real slow Americana. Right there. So what I'm looking for here is to connect his hand to my chest. I was being lazy and I was just hand fighting. What I should have done is brought my head and chest closer to him and then used my hips to extend away. You don't want to fight hand for hand because if they're stronger than you, then you just won't win. But I ended up catching Darius's hand, got his hand connected to my chest, and then I hipped in. Just like any armbar. Darius shaking his head. I think the round ended there. Jump 30 seconds forward. Second round here with Matt. This one I didn't go for any submission actual attempts. I wanted to just flow guard passes, one after the other, or transitions. Controlling his foot, stepping around. Did a knee cut. This is important, and it's going to show a lot of details here. So all I'm doing here is holding his foot and trying to walk past it. Not a real actual guard pass, but what it did was it opened up an actual guard pass. So I kept moving this way, and then this underhook opened up, and I saw the opportunity. And I'm not between his legs here, but I blow over his thigh with my shin and my leg. All right, so my shin is right here, and I went over the thigh, and because I have the underhook, and now my leg just kind of flops into position, I can finish that knee cut, right? And I think here I do it. Yeah, see that? See how my knee? This is such a good detail. So, went back a little too far. So right here, he's got my foot caught. So I take my knee on the ground, my heel to my butt, and I drag it on the mat backwards, just like that. And now I'm free to kick out. Now I'm past the guard. Such a good detail. As I said, I'm just flowing on this one. I didn't really want submissions. I just wanted to show some guard passing stuff that I do. Yeah, this is real simple, something that people don't really understand. So I've got his leg here, and I've got my shin in a cross shin position. If we were same side, then he could go to leg locks, but I have it a cross step here. And this allows me to just push on his knee and just walk past his guard, basically. So I have that, I keep that there, and I keep the pressure of his foot on that side. And I can basically just push on his knee right there, yep, get my hips under it, and I just walk past, and I'm just floating in knee on belly now. Matt just did a knee on belly escape. I showed him just before we started open mat today, so it was cool. Another knee cut, underhook, knee slides back, same thing. Once I get my knee on the mat, that thing drags backwards. Yeah, so this is another cool detail, and this is a very cool detail, and Matt's good at stopping this. So what happens right here, see where his foot is? Matt has his knee and his shin close. So what I'm going to do is, hold on one second. Hey, I'm recording right now. Alright, sorry, my wife. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open this hip up, or this leg, by pushing on it or clamping my arm over it to move the knee shield out of the way. So he's got the knee shield and I can't get rid of it by hip switching. So I open his leg up and put it down to the mat over here. So now his hips got to follow. Now Matt plays my game where he messes with people's arms. So he ends up trying to attack me here in a reverse triangle, arm crush, Kimura. We end up in half guard, half butterfly. That starts coming up. This is why I talk about you got to get low on your underhooks. When you're high like this and you're fighting a bigger person like I am, if I decide to just whizzer you into the earth, I can. Right? Roy is watching in disbelief right now, right? Because his head's down because a high underhook doesn't do you very good when I wanted a high overhook. So he should have gotten low. Right? Now he starts to lower it, but I go to front headlock position again. I do a very sorry attempt at a head and arm choke. I wanted to just roll him. The same thing as high underhooks, not, at least for this scenario, it's not really doing him any favors. Should have gone low. So what happens here is start to move him forward, and once I kind of kick my leg through here and move his hips down, I move mine up. I guess I don't kick. I move mine up, and I try stepping over for a jumping triangle. But the second I did that, Matt pulled because he's been here before. Floated into mount. Pivoted on a terrible armbar attempt because, again, I'm not trying to submit in this round. I'm just trying to move. I wanted him to move a bunch. I wanted him to work. Yeah, see, this time I wised up. He tried to get his knee shield in, but this time I did a little block here with my forearm instead of going to the far leg. We saw Matt trap my arm last time, so this time I'm blocking the near side leg. He's hitting a little ghost escape attempt, but I still got this block. Again, I'm slowly sitting up. This is not the speed I would be doing this if I was trying to go rip submissions. He did good control on my leg so it didn't come over the head. This is a cool little sequence I do to people. I take this Kimura grip and I have it really, really tight, and I'm pulling this to my chest, or to my stomach actually, but I'm extending my elbows, right? And I can sit here, and he trapped my leg with his shin, which is a smart defense. So what I did is I brought this in front of his face, and I flicked out of this, right? I flicked out of it, and then I came as a butterfly on this side, because I can't get my leg between all this craziness happening here. So I brought my leg over in front of me on this side, and I pushed his hips over to get my leg in front. Boop! There it is. If I wanted to, again, I could have ripped a triangle and armbar right there. But we're going slow. Right here I should have posted on my head and gone all the way to the far side, but I decided to try to do a fancy back take, and I didn't get my chest behind his shoulder blade, so yeah, this is a good one too. So what happens here, so I try coming up, and I don't have my chest right here, so I can't take his back. So what ends up happening is the second I feel that, I jump this leg as high across his back as I can, because I'm going to fall back and pull this leg out for a triangle. And there it is. It's my triangle. Matt pulls out. I do a little stiff arm escape. This is cool too. He wanted a seatbelt, and I knew that because he's coming to my back. So instead of letting him get on this side of my head, I put my head under his armpit. I'm going to do a little cool roll through here. Boop. And Matt wises up to the fireman's carry and starts attacking the crucifix. I was just showing him stuff from this too before practice. I'm sliding down so he can't get under my chin. He needs my head to be right here next to his shoulder to choke me. So I'm keeping down by his hip and keeping down there. Using my leg to mess with his Kimura grips. He just realizes that it's futile to do that position right now. He's in on this Kimura attack on this arm, pushing his foot to his butt so that he can't play butterfly well. Alright, so all this is a typical over-underpass attempt, and when he brings this leg over the top, I start going for a leg drag on this side. So right there, I start turning my head, trying to come up this side. And I'm pinning that far leg so he can't turn his hips over to me again. Got a little knee in the face there. Floating. Just trying to show different guard passes. I accidentally floated my heel over the top and let him go into single leg X here. Tried to refloat and I couldn't. Always control the top of the foot. This is so important. Look, my hand's already right there. Boom. Top of the foot. The heel, pushing on the heel is not going to do a lot. But here, I can make it so that he can't really kick down to the ground or use this to pinch in. Yeah, a little false reap. Same thing I did to Darius earlier. I'm just stepping, right? I'm just, for this pass, I just hold his feet still, and I just step out. And then I get my shins in front of his thigh right here. And now I'm passed. Another forearm block on the thigh there to hold the position. Matt tries a good escape there. All these forearm wedges that I use. See, my arm, it looks like it's not doing anything, but it's holding his shoulders there so he can't move away from me. I was wanting him to explode up there, but he didn't, so I ended up coming back into the butterfly mount and the round ended. And then I think for the rest of the video, we'll get full rounds with other people and me commentating later. I think the last 2 rounds we'll do in a second clip, second recording. So this will be part 1. Thanks, guys.